Hey, everybody. It's Debbie with the Turner Real Estate Network, and we're broadcasting live from the 1-800 Ask Debbie. No, actually, we're in my bedroom. It's the only quiet place that I have when there's 5 people at home and everybody's on Wi-Fi and doing business. And we are here with our very first guest, Chris Kiblin. Chris, thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we wanted to have Chris on for a number of reasons. One is he is the top 1% in the country for loan originations. And he's also a top producer. And Chris, you've only been doing this for 5 years. How do you go from zero to that in such a short time? I mean, there's a lot of competition out there. It's really busy. And
Yep.
tell us a little bit about your story.
So, all right. So, moved to Sarasota, 6 years ago. And then wasn't doing mortgages actually. I didn't know anybody. I was actually nervous about getting back into the mortgage business. I did it back in Baltimore, and I was worried because I didn't know a soul. I didn't know a realtor. I was like, how, a commission-based job. You can't jump into a commission-based job when you don't know anybody.
No.
And especially for what that kind of business was for. And so I got down here and I did some odds and end jobs, and I just missed it too much. And I was like, I got to get back in the mortgage world. And so the first 2 years were a struggle. I mean, big time. I struggled a lot. And, but then I kind of had like a little bit of epiphany. I was like, all right, I'm going to go all in and really change what I'm doing and just really out hustle and outwork everybody else. And,
That's for sure.
And so, and just really, one of the things that I believe, and it took me a while to figure this out is like, I'm good at mortgages. Don't get me wrong. I'm good at mortgages, but I'm really good at relationships and building relationships.
You are.
And so that's where my strengths come in. And I'm good with customer rapport. I'm good with feedback. I'm good with follow-up. And so, everything that most realtors are looking for, right?
Yeah.
That's the feedback I got. I was out there asking my, realtor partner, what are you looking for? What do you need? Look, I just need somebody to pick up the phone when I call them.
Amen, brother. Yes. Yes.
So, and it's like, because, if I got a question or if there's a reason why they're calling you right then and there, because they're either with a client, they have a question or whatever. And so that was the feedback I was getting. So that was what I really started concentrating on. I really made sure that I answered the phone as long as I wasn't in a meeting. I always took people's calls. If I wasn't able to take their call, I called them like within 10 minutes after I was done, and so I really made it a priority to follow up, call my customers. If you gave me a lead, I was calling them right after we got off the phone, because that's the type of stuff that you need to do to get it going. And
that's the kind of stuff you need to do to keep it going, because I can attest that we've been working together almost 2 years now, and those same initiatives that you were taking back then to get your business going is what you do day in and day out to keep your business going. And that's why everybody in our office uses you. And I encourage anybody else out there that's looking for somebody good, that's got the hustle, that's up early, that works late, that works weekends, that will do whatever it takes to get the job done and make everybody happy. This is our guy right here.
So that's kind of what I did. So I just, and then I started building a name for myself, and, and then as I got more and more involved in the real estate community, I started looking for more top producing agents, right? People that have been in the market for a while, because it's very difficult to get into with a realtor that's been in the market for a while, because they always have their lenders already in place. Well, I've got a lender. That was the favorite thing. I already got a lender.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, key is follow up, because if their lender, I hate to say it, but if they drop the ball or something happened, or they're just looking for, maybe they retired or whatever, right place, right time, and the follow up. One of my biggest groups that I landed it took me 2 years to get them.
Yeah.
And, but it's
tough out there. Well, in our business too, real estate, mortgages, it's the old saying, but you're only as good as your last transaction. And that's what people remember. That's why it's important to have really strong partners in your mortgage, in title, your home inspectors, all of that. It all has to sync up together and make for a smooth transition. So So Chris, we have 15 minutes here. We may go a little bit longer. If anybody has any questions, please post. This is live. It's very relaxed. We'd love to hear from you. I can see who's out there watching right now, and we appreciate you guys being on with us. Chris, let's talk a little bit about rates, because you and I were shooting a video this morning down south at Sky Ranch, and you told me about some numbers that I think everybody listening needs to hear about. Let's talk about the rates.
Yeah, so interest rates right now are at an all-time low. They're the lowest that I've ever seen them, and I've been doing this since I got into business 2009. And so, and they're the lowest I've ever seen. So, right now we are looking at, again, let's depend on credit, and let's put that little disclaimer there, depend on credit and equity and that kind of thing, and down payment, 2.875 on a 30-year fixed.
Wow.
I mean, I've never seen them that low. And then
I haven't either.
And then we had one, I just locked one of my other clients in on a 15-year at 2.25% on a 15-year. So,
That's
these
crazy.
rates are crazy, ridiculous, crazy low. The thing is if you haven't refinanced, if you're in the 3s or in the 4s, it is a great time to refinance. Or if you're really, really thinking about purchasing and you just haven't gone to that point, is it the right time? Should I purchase now? You should really consider it, because think about how much more house that you can buy because of where the rates are. If you're in the 2s now, and then let's say, because like last year we were in the 4s, so that 2% or that point or whatever, that can make a big difference in your housing payment. $200, $300, $400 a month difference in savings that you're not paying in interest. So I couldn't tell you if it wasn't a better time if you're really thinking about it, and it kind of just goes on to show you what's going on in our marketplace, though.
It's nuts. If you can
right?
even find a house to buy, like the inventory is just so low right now. We have buyers that are ready to buy and just can't find anything, or it gets scooped up, or it's multiple offers. Like it's pretty crazy out there. So I have a question too. You're writing a book.
I am.
Tell me about your book. I'm really excited about this. We're going to have you back on when you launch your book. We'll have a book launch. I'm so excited. You've been working on this for a while. I think you and Debbie were headed, I think, to Africa when you kind of first had your epiphany, and you were doing some writing there and celebrating a big anniversary and stuff. So tell everybody about your book.
So I'll kind of explain. So part of the book idea came up to me about a year ago. We were actually traveling to Africa, and we had a 16-hour flight. And so,
wow.
So I was just sitting there. I was like,
something to do.
Exactly. And I've been thinking about it for a while, but really what it comes down to is how I grew my business. Okay. And what I did was I took 30 different things that I implemented into my business, and basically just different things that I had this philosophy that I changed. And so there's 30 different chapters that talk about different things that can really change your mindset. I'm all about believing in changing your mindset and changing how you do things. And so the book really gets into depth on that kind of thing. And so what it did was I just took what I was doing in my personal business. For me to go from closing 2 deals a month to closing over 20 deals a month, basically I just took what I learned and then decided to put it into a book and put more explanation into it. Now, I'm not saying that you got to sit there and do all 30 different things to get to where I've gotten to, but if you could take a piece here, a piece there, and add it into what you're doing right now, you're going to start seeing a huge change in what you're doing as far as your production, your mindset, your overall life. It's made a huge difference in my life. I tell you now, I've never, ever would have thought 5 years ago where I'm sitting today is such a huge difference as far as the production that I'm doing. I never thought that I would be on the verge of closing $50 million in volume this coming year. Yeah. And that's where I'm headed. And so, but it came in with a lot of hard work. It came in with a lot of different things. So I put all this into the book so that way I can share it, right? One of the things that I wanted to do is I really wanted to share my experience and help other people rise up, get to where they want to be. Maybe it's some idea that they just haven't thought of, or maybe it's just a different technique that they haven't thought of. And
Yeah.
so I just put it in there and said, you know what, let's go with it and see what happens. Because I
Well, I'm
just,
so excited about that. And you know what I like that really just resonated with me, what you said is you've got it broken down into 30 things. Somebody that can read that, and I'm a person, like if I'm absorbing things too, like if you can just have a little small win, and you know, like if you're starting from zero and you're working your way up, a little small win, something that you can master. So if there's, let's say they can do 5 out of your 30 and move along like that, you don't get where you are sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. It's hustle, it's rise and grind. I got to give a little plug. Your coffee mug, I love, and you're up every morning, rising early, grinding away, and that's why you've been so successful and where you are today. I truly
exactly.
believe that. So I think we're coming up on our last 5 minutes here. I want to ask you, what's your favorite quote, Chris?
So it's actually the name of my book. And so it's actually coming out. It's called Own Your Day.
Own your day.
And
I
so
love that.
this is the thing. I've been saying this, geez, probably 3 or 4 years, right? It's ingrained in me. And the reason being, I think it's actually, this is my army one.
Nice.
But
Those are
so,
nice looking shirts too.
but basically, I believe by owning your day, you own your week, you own your month, you own your year, and then you own your life. And so that's where I came up with. Actually, there it is on the bracelet.
Awesome.
So, but the thing is that I really believe in it, and I really believe in it to a detailed, right? Because if I can get up and I can do one day and I own my day, because I've always believed about attacking my day instead of my day attacking me. And so that's why I get up at 4 a.m. I get up and I set myself a schedule. I set myself exactly what I'm going to do. I work on my list. I create a list. I do
I
this
love
every day.
lists too. I love my lists.
Because I have a daily to-do list every day. I put it together. Who I'm going to call, who I need to call on, who I need to follow up with, what do I need to do? Because that is setting my day up and letting me attack it so I can be more in charge of my day. And so, it's just one of those things because when I'm talking to people or I'm help coaching people, you sit down and you listen to what they're talking about and their things get in the way, right? Because they're not preparing themselves. Something comes in, something like the kids or soccer or you name it, whatever that thing
You're
is.
not taking action. Yeah.
Right. So you got to set that up for yourself. So if you get up and you put that plan together and make it the first thing that you're going to do and really come together on that plan, then you're going to start seeing your accomplishments and you're going to start seeing your growth. Because it's not only just with your work, but it's like a work-life balance, right?
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah, because this real estate can chew you up and spit you out. You have to stay organized to stay on top of things, and you need help. We can't do it all by ourselves. You've got to have your family, your spouse, a good admin support, a good team, that's helping push you along. So my last question for you is, I've got your quote, and that's a great quote. I love it. Who do you look for inspiration? Like who inspires the guy that inspires others?
So and the thing is most of the stuff that I do is I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm an audiobook kind of guy. So when I'm sitting in here at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm writing down my list, I'm listening to an audiobook. When I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm listening to an audiobook. When I'm at the gym, I'm listening to an audiobook. Yeah. So the reason I do that is just because of the fact it gets me going. It gets me more ideas. I'm always the type of guy that wants to grow and learn more stuff because I don't even think that I know just a small little bit. There's so much knowledge out there and so many other people have done way more than I have done. So I'm always looking to grow. So I listen to Tony Robbins. I listen to him, Grant Cardone. I listen to some other people. I just read a book. That David Goggins, I don't know if you ever heard of that book, but he had a story where he was, he went through Navy SEAL training. It took him 3 times to actually get through it. And the third time he finally got it. He's like the pull-up champion of the United States, Guinness World Record, did more pull-ups in 24 hours than anybody. And he just set his mindset that he told himself that nothing was going to stop him. Even if he had his failures and he had his failures, that he would come back and be even stronger. And that's the kind of stuff that really kind of motivates me. It's inspirational to me. It's like, look, nothing's going to stop me from hitting my goals. Right. Nothing's going to get me from, I'm going to do it. And
I believe you. I know you will.
So, and if you believe that, you'll get that. So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's what I'm about, and that's what my book's about. And so that's kind
And
of
when do you think we're gonna have the launch date for that? When are you hoping to get that?
probably late August.
Late August. Wow. Okay, so that's right around the corner. Oh
Yep,
gosh. Well, I hope you'll come back when you have the
absolutely.
book. Maybe we'll do something special and give away a couple of books on there, sponsored by Turner. I would love to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, have people can and check in and do that. And yeah, so we appreciate everybody watching today. 15 minutes goes by pretty fast, but Chris is great. If you're watching and you've been considering refinancing, or you think you want to buy, it's nothing to pick up the phone and call. Chris will call you back the same day. You can also shoot him an email. His information's on the bottom here. And we just appreciate being on Facebook, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube with this platform. And stay tuned next week. We're going to have Allison Byrne from Lee Wetherington Homes, and she's going to talk about what's going on in Waterside. So, Chris, thanks again. We'll hope to see you maybe next month when your book's ready to launch.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye. Have a great weekend, everybody.